So guys, good morning. This is John for Grutas. I'm just gonna do my usual intro into my YouTube videos. It is the 19th of January 2024. Right now, I'm feeling all sorts of pain in my body. Well, not just in my body, in my mind as well. And if you are a very long subscriber here, you know I talk about the mind very often and the powers that it possesses. But basically, right now, it is 12:44 in the afternoon. I just bought pan de coco, and to my surprise, this pan de coco is actually warm. It has just been done. They have just baked it. They just baked it, and I'm happy right now. I'm happy, but still, some parts of my body is still painful. I guess two reasons contributed to it. One, there has been an ongoing fever in our house. Second is that I've been going to the gym. Even though I'm feeling really, really bad, even though I'm feeling lethargic, I still went to the gym because I found myself that when I go to the gym and lift some weights, it just comes normal to me. It's like autopilot already. But to be able to achieve that thing, or like, excuse me, you just go there, lift some heavy ass weight, go to failure, go there for about 1 hour and 45 minutes, and then go back home. That is a very wonderful feeling. And before, when I was going to the gym, I could barely survive 30 minutes at the gym. Not only because I was embarrassed that I was actually trying to better myself, but also because I don't not know what I'm doing. I feel like a lot of people are watching me, watching everything that I do, judging the little things. I have this notion in my mind that when you go to the gym, you have to know what you're doing. You can't afford to be imperfect. You cannot afford to make mistakes because everybody will laugh at you. Those are some of the things that was on my mind when I started going to the gym. And also, when I started going to the gym, man, something changed inside of me. When I started going to the gym, part of me did not care anymore about what anyone's approval. When you start lifting weights, when you started doing some push-ups on your tiny little room or on your living room, it's great if no one is watching. But if someone is watching, that is kind of embarrassing, because for two reasons again. The first being is, how dare you make yourselves better when that thing that you are doing isn't even on my mind, when I can't even do it. Also, I'm so used to treating you this way that how dare you try to even change the perception that I have with you, the image that is built on my mind regarding who you are. If people have been used to like bullying you, not respecting you, not listening to a word that you say, partly because it is of your looks, and I've realized that looks are a very important thing. Growing up, I was fat. Growing up, I did not have good hygiene. Growing up, I was not educated. Growing up, I was so used to lying I was so used to doing things the bad way, stealing, because it's all I ever knew. If it weren't for those bad things, I wouldn't have survived up until now. And to be able to talk to you guys like this is a very wonderful experience. At least for me, because I haven't been speaking for I haven't been I'm not being myself for the past 5-6 years, and that is because when I was on the ninth grade, junior high school, you know, I thought I was special, man. Growing up, I was made to feel special. I was always compared to other people, and I was enrolled in a private school, and children at those private schools were 100 times better than me, if not a million times better than me. Not only because they grew up in a functional household where there are no abuse. They have everything with them. You're not scared of your home. Their lives are infinitely much better than mine. And to compare the speed of a snail to the speed of a cheetah is absolutely ridiculous, man. And that is just an analogy that I made up right now. No, those people, they have people who care about them, who know what they're doing, who inspires the child rather than punishes the child if the behavior that they are displaying are not pleasing to them. So basically everyone has better lives than me. And right now, growing up, I've always been alone. I have not have formed any meaningful relationships here at my hometown. And it's just sad, man. If things would have been different when I was a child, I could be much happier right now. But I'm not saying that the things that happened to me, that I do not accept those things. It's just that they could have been better. But my parents were 26 when they had me, 25, 26. And at that age, that's still a young man. You still don't know what you're doing. Not only do you not have a stable job, but you do not know anything about the world. It's like these people never really got past the age of 10, 12. And I do not blame them for that. The way that they have grown up is maybe much worse than what I experienced growing up. And why is it, and I often ask myself, why do I have to be the one to take head on all of these bad habits? Why can't I just flow freely, not store any anger inside of me? Because over time, these things that are left unsaid, they are getting heavier and heavier. And when I was a child, when my parents are punishing me for being a child, I can see their eyes, man, while they are slamming me with their belts, while they are throwing big spoons at me. And they're locking me inside the house. can see it in their eyes that it's not like they're thinking logically. It's not like they are. It's they're blind with rage, man. They are. It's like they're on deep waters. What's outside of them is something that they would have done when they were a child, should they be in the position that I was, punishing me. All people wish that they would have fought back, and I agree, because the feeling of being able to release your anger, the feeling is cathartic, man. The feeling is better than sex, better than any sexual pleasure that you could ever imagine, because it releases something not from your balls, not from your penis. It releases something from your chest, which is actually much bigger. And to be able to have that, to breathe, to have no blocks in your pathways, those are the kind of feeling that I'm looking for right now. And what I have learned over the past 6 years, studying about the occult, studying about the mind. An idea is said to not be understood until you have experienced the things which are not true, which are the opposite of the state that you are desiring. It's like you can never understand happiness unless you have been sad. You can never understand pleasure until you have understood pain. And life exists in this like duality, that everything has its opposites, but they are actually one. Let's give an example: coldness and hotness. When something is warm and when something is cold. When something is warm, it just means that the particles that is comprising that thing moves at a very fast rate and are bumping into each other, resulting into friction, which generates heat. And the second one is when it is cold, there are no movement on the particles that comprises an entity, and that's the reason why it is cold. So we can deduct there that almost anything has duality. Every single thing has both its positive. No, you cannot really say positive and negative. It's just like one state, the further end of a state, and then further end of another state. So right now, what I'm experiencing is sadness, is loneliness. These are the things that I'm experiencing. Well, I do not know what holds me in the future, but I'm guessing that it is something big. I'm guessing that it is something that is cathartic, pleasurable, euphoric. Those are the things that I expect to make on my future, because right now the experiences that I'm having is the complete opposite of the things that I've just said that I will experience in the future. So it makes sense, I just have to feel this one out. I just have to talk with it. I just have to, really understand what it means to be on these negative emotions, which I welcome, or very much welcome. Ever since I was a child, everything has a price, so I didn't really owe my parents anything. Everything that they have given me, may it be toys, gifts, food, everything was paid for by innocence. Everything was paid for by the amount, by the times that they have beat me, that they have released their stress from work onto me, for the need that I am providing them because they just had a child. You know, the most important need of a man is the feeling of being needed, the feeling of being important. You know, I'm going to give an analogy. The people that which I trust, the people that which I have respect for, are the people that needs me, that can use me, not sexually, but things that I am good at, that I love doing, that helps them. It's just like Luffy in One Piece, He wants to become a pirate king, then he needs to form his crew. He finds Nami, which is a very good cartographer. He finds Brook, a musician, so that they can all feel lively. He finds Zoro, someone that he can trust, someone that is in par with him, in my opinion. He finds Sanji, the cook of the team. Paano mo sinabing may naghanap sa'yo? Wala pa. Tawagin kita. Matulog ka ba?
Hindi kasi kukunin ko yung yung 20 kong gigs ng tabi.
Okay. Bad